Say what? Look. I'm on tour right
It's the
now.
new OGs. The new OGs is a State Madison Entertainment production and is brought to you by Sun Life Solar. Sun Life is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. So if you are a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, raise the value of your home, and do something good for the environment without paying a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. No money out of your pocket. You can help the environment and, raise the value of your home. It's pretty great.
Wait. You get to help the environment. It don't cost you any money, and you raise the value of your home, Bobby.
You can do all those things, XL. All those. In fact,
that's amazing.
They can only work with you if they can save you money. I swear to God, we're going to pre-record one of these. Sun Life is a Sun Power dealer and American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience. And Sun Life even has a referral program that pays out as much as $500 per referral. So head over to www.illinoissolar.today and get in contact for a free consultation or to refer someone that you know. We are also brought to you by People of Comedy. That is the network that we're on right now.
Comedy People.
Hey. Here, James Webb in the background there.
Hello.
Occasionally, he pops in here and there. Make sure you get to People of Comedy on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Check out all of the great different shows they've got on there. They span race, gender, sexual orientation, gender orientation, hated, unhated people. You can find them all. You can find them canceled people who were canceled and somehow got their membership restored and have been canceled again.
Shout out Bobby Buds. Bobby Buds loves shout outs. Hillary.
Bobby Buds loves shout outs. Oh man. I thought the comedy scene was done.
Hey man. It kicked back up with like some zesto this week.
You know what's funny is that it kicked back up and really it was just like it was on something that was meant to be lighthearted, that was then also meant to be lighthearted, and then a bunch of people who had feelings decided they would.
I love nothing more than when some motherfuckers are just joking around with each other, and then somebody who has real feelings jumps in because they think it's their moment. Like, oh, they on that shit. I was on that shit too, and they're like, nah, we was just fucking around. But
someone with an opinion,
awkward.
Yeah, someone who has got a real opinion on the situation showed up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it's so, you know what? It's so funny. We have to talk about it because it's important. Also go to Zanies.com. They're doing socially distant shows right now, and trying to keep some live stand-up comedy alive when you can is a good thing. So get over to Zanies right now, or get over to Zanies.com and set yourself up for some tickets over there. But I do want to talk
school,
about this.
40 years, baby.
It was because it's important. So the Chicago comedy scene is a very interesting place. It's an interesting place because despite everything, they as much talent comes out of there is still a large amount of just fighting, like infighting that goes on nonstop. And it's so weird that the ways that certain shows get drawn into drama, like 2 or 3 shows almost consistently, particularly, and no matter what some of the shows do, they are always like the aiming point of what's going on.
I mean, there's some shows that are integral parts of the comedy scene here in Chicago. For those of you who are not Chicagoans, don't know Chicago's comedy scene, stand-up, improv, sketch, writing, the whole thing is one of the best in the world. People, like many of your favorite famous stars, started out here. They got their training here, and then they go other places to do things. And there's some shows that are kind of part of that. So people have extra feelings about those motherfuckers when something happens with them.
Well, the thing is that for the longest time, how a particular show, in fact, I'll just say the way that Comedians You Should Know worked was very secretive, like how you got booked, what you got booked for, the people that, the guy, it was originally all guys that ran it. That changed years ago, and they've had, non-male producers involved in producing that show since then, consistently.
A lot of
diverse non-male comedian, diverse and non-male comedians involved in that show. And, there are positives and negatives about every show, right? I don't know anybody who runs a perfect show every week all the time, but there's a reason why some people come to certain shows all the time. And there's a reason why some shows get their knocks. But it used to get so much shit for the secretive way in which it took to get booked there.
Which I don't understand. I mean, as talent, I'm sorry for jumping in, but just as talent, I do like you. I want to know what I have to do to get down because I'm talent. That I got to know what to do. But also, you respect somebody's fucking show. Like they book you. They don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
I'm getting in my feelings.
Right. Exactly. I mean, the whole thing is like some people start a show because they want to start a show. And then everybody else decides how the show has to operate. And to some extent, that is important because you want to make sure you get good representation on shows and in the city and that there's opportunities for people. But they used to get so much shit for not being open about how their shows worked. And then they did this crazy thing last year where they actually started doing auditions, where they did audition shows where you could literally get to perform at CYSK on their stage in the room. And you could do a short set in there. I don't think they were stopping anybody from recording their set in there. I've definitely seen sets that were recorded at CYSK that were not on CYSK's show. Like not the regular, it wasn't somebody's, 8 or 10 minutes on a regular show. Right. So like people were able to take advantage of that stage and being able to say they performed at CYSK to where anywhere else in the world that people know about CYSK, it looks like you performed there. So they got that advantage, and then they still get shit for the fact that some people didn't get in, or some people didn't make it, or whatever the case may be. And people I'm sure have absolute issues with I don't know everybody's interpersonal relationships there, but what happened was somebody made a joke about CYSK and them being involved in the early realms of coronavirus. And one of the producers took it and and it was a good joke and it was funny and it deserved more likes than it even got. And then one of the producers saw it and thought it was funny and also tried to make humor out of it, and then everybody else lost their minds, and that is what happens.
By the way, hate to interject, Jonah Jerkins in the chat right now, so Jonah Jerkins is watching.
What up, Jonah?
Yeah, what up, Jonah? We love you, Jonah. I thought you were trying to be funny. I know you're probably just watching this video like these guys have no idea.
We're
comfortable with not knowing exactly what the fuck happened.
Or something like that.
I am best when I don't know what the fuck is happening because then I'm not at fault for being wrong about any of my opinions.
I know I didn't fuck up.
But here, like, my thing is like they have so many spots every week there, and I remember early on in comedy I was at some festival thing and they did like a teaching session, and one of the things that one of the comedy club promoters tried to remind us was like there are only 52 weeks in a year. There's only so many rooms for spots on there. And, when there are people that you've got long-term relationships with and they're coming through town, you're going to give them a spot. Like, that's just the way it's going to go. And so that is part of what you have to realize is that there's part of that stuff there's a lot of good people that didn't get booked on there for years and finally got a chance to be on there. And so, there's some issues with patients that go on there too. And the previous thing was essentially like, I didn't see a lot of bad comics on CYSK. I've not seen any comics on CYSK. Even if I saw a comic on CYSK that had a bad set, it was like
it's a
phantom bad set, right? Yeah. Like I've seen them. It's like, oh yeah, but I've seen them be good. I've been like apologetic for the bad set.
Yeah, I had a nightmare set at CYSK, but
and look at you,
huh?
I said, look at you.
Yeah. I had but I've also had